Hi guys, this next interview needs an introduction. So I tried filming one in the interview and it didn't quite work. It just kind of started. Anyway, the next interview is with Corin Nemec from Stargate. He's at Oz Comic Con this weekend, and you can get along and see him all this weekend if you get along to see him, which I encourage you to do. So guys, Corin Nemec. Didn't know it was that terrifying. Hi.
I get scared of loud noises, especially claps. I mean, not the clap, but just a clap, any clap.
Oh. It's a very bad joke there. I should probably say, guys, hi, this is Corin Nemec.
Hello.
And
hi over there too.
he does better gags than I do. But then again, you have more experience.
I pretend. I pretend well.
This is my shtick myself. But no, I was going to say, because everybody knows you from Stargate and from...
Which one? Well, how long ago? From very young, or from Supernatural, or
that's what you were in Supernatural.
Did a stint on there.
Thingo Can't Lose.
Yeah, Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Can't Lose because you were Parker.
Yes, I was indeed.
I should explain. For some reason, I've done interviews before, and for some reason, you've made me nervous.
It's the haircut, because it's like a marine cut, and maybe it's imposing.
Could be. But also, my chair, it's not an optical illusion.
This is part of it. It's in my contract. Anybody who does an interview with me has to be in the midgie chair, and then I get the taller one.
Might be better. Could I introduce some mood lighting?
Yes. Ooh.
And thus enters the sight gag. Might make it look prettier. Anyway, he sings too, or at least hums well. I haven't looked. You've made like 50 movies. You've been a busy boy.
Yes. I think I'm close to. I might be up to around 100 projects on my IMDb so far, something mad like that. But I've been at this since I was 12 years old. But it is the longevity that I've had is it is quite miraculous, to be honest, because a lot of the young actors from my generation, there's very few of them that are still actively in the business, or many of them who've gone into other areas of the business, and I just by the grace of God and hopefully a little talent, I have been able to persevere, and I have a motto: just say yes.
Well, I've had most actors say that if there's money involved.
Sometimes there's very little money involved, and that's why you just have to say yes. For me, it's mostly if I see something in the character that I think that I can bring something to the table, even if it's a small film, or even if the film is not going to maybe particularly be as good as I would hope it would be, then I can still enjoy the process of creating a character and participating in what it is that I love to do.
Well, I know it's not all about the money for you, because I had a bit of a look. And now, for one thing, I found out you almost died filming a thing, if I can ask.
Yes.
Because apparently your leg was like completely shattered, and if you hadn't had blood transfusions, you wouldn't be sitting here. I
would have, yes, I lost 3/4 of the blood in my body. In fact, I'm wearing skinny jeans right now, which I tend to like to wear most often, because when I got in the boat wreck and my femur was shattered into 7 pieces, I was wearing skinny jeans, and it kept. I think it kept the bone from popping through the skin, and so I was bleeding internally instead of externally, so it slowed down the amount of bleeding I was doing. But when I got to the hospital, I had like 3/4 of the blood in my body in my right leg, and it was like swelled up to the size. This is a disgusting conversation.
Which is more the reason to have it on film.
It was swelled up to the size of a watermelon. I mean, it was giant, and it was horribly painful. But I have this vision of once I went into the and I was in Belize, which is a third world. No offense, Belize. I love the country, but it is a bit third worldish. And although I was at the nicest hospital in the country, it was still absolutely terrifying. But and the doctor saved my life. He was in. I wish I could remember his name to this day, because I gave him the biggest hug after I came to from the surgery, because this guy just, he pulled a miracle, you know. But I have this vision of when he got the skinny jeans off of me and they actually made the first incision. It must have been like a Niagara Falls of blood coming out of my leg. You know, I can only imagine what that operating room looked like afterwards. But that said, skinny jeans saved my life.
Okay.
And Vegemite.
Really? Maybe it's important.
I've decided to sponsor myself by Vegemite.
We're still looking.
And Bonds.
We're looking for
I'm very Australian right now.
We don't have a sponsor yet.
Oh.
If you know anybody, you could hook us up.
I'll sponsor you.
I'll take that as a handshake agreement.
Excellent.
We'll catch up later.
Yes. Ketchup and Vegemite. You want ketchup too?
I don't know if those two go. That's an experiment for later.
Yes. That's a triple dog dare right there.
Physical challenge. But no, there was something I wanted to ask you about, because it's a topical thing. I mean, you've been around forever, but not a long time. But now
Longer than God.
Your character, Jonas Quinn, you came into Stargate, you took over from Michael Shanks, and there was a whole thing like, bring back Michael Shanks. And then he came back, and then you went away, and they said, like, bring him back too. And you had this going on. But in the last week, Kelly Marie Tran, so I've been trying to remember the name. I just know it was Rose. She just left social media because of bullying. And I thought
Interesting.
I thought about this, because it's like, you more or less, I wonder if what would have happened to you had the level of internet existed back then as exists today, because you had a lot of stuff going on there and you stuck with it and you got your character through and everything. But I'm wondering,
Oddly enough, I have never had a real direct experience of bullying. You know, the only time I remember when I was the only time I ever kind of got bullied was in maybe it must have been sixth grade. And there was a girl in the seventh grade that kind of had the hots for me. And her boyfriend, who was also in the seventh grade, he was tiny, actually. He was shorter than I was, and I was in the sixth grade. But he just had this crazy look in his eye. He had he was just known as like the psycho kid at school. And he came after me in the halls one day, and it terrified me. It was like being attacked by a badger or something. And he told me never to mess with his girlfriend, and I was like, I am not. You know what I mean? I was like, she likes me, I don't like her. But that was the only time that I brushed with any kind of bullying. I don't know how it is, but I've always navigated through school kind of friends with everyone. You know, I was friends with the tough guys, friends with the geeky guys, friends with the teachers. You know. Although one time, I must admit it, I can't believe I'm telling this story. I used to put thumbtacks in people's seats and not tell them that I did it. You know, just the flat ones. And I just sit in the back of the room and wait for them to sit down and be like, ah! And then one time I had an English teacher who I actually really liked, and I decided to thumbtack her seat, and she was a little heavy set, and she went and sat on it, and nothing happened. It just disappeared. I don't know what it just, but that was the last time I ever tried that. It was a terrible prank. Don't ever thumbtack anybody's seat. I am not telling you that this is a good idea. It is a bad idea. Okay. But it was very funny.
All right, so we're covered for that. But so from everything I've heard, you're a nice guy. And I mean, I've seen in your characters, Jonas Quinn was friendly to everybody, and now we know where he comes from.
Yes.
Except apparently you've got this underlying bit of bastardry about thumbtacks.
Yes. It was a short-lived thing, but I wish I hadn't done it. In retrospect, I could have lived without that moment. I could have.
Pretty sure other people could have lived without it too.
Yes, they could have, but no one ever caught me. So if you went to North Hollywood High School with me, and you were in Miss Garrison's class in 10th grade, and you sat on a thumbtack, I'm sorry.
And if anybody knows the doctor's name, we've got comments. We could find out.
Ooh. I have his name on some paperwork still, probably in a drawer at home. But yeah, he was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, incredible.
You probably owe him a couple of free tickets to a movie at least.
Yes, I absolutely do.
Okay, well, guys, you got to help us out because, all right, if we can hook up the doctor. With, yeah, I don't know why I was nervous at the beginning of this.
No, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be at all. But I do want to plug a couple of things. Can I plug some stuff?
Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic.
You could plug the channel too.
Yes. I've already forgotten what it is.
Forgive us our press passes.
Forgive us our press passes. That's the name of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Oh, and the Daily Dalek on Facebook.
And the daily.
The Daily Dalek.
Yes, the daily dialect.
Dalek.
Oh, Dalek.
Exterminate Dalek. This is what this is.
Dalek. The Daily Dalek. Welcome to the Daily Dalek on Facebook. And forgive us our press passes in general.
So I'm interrupting because we're getting the wind up. You want to plug some things. Plug away.
Well, no, more like talk about some stuff that's going on. But as many people who have known me for a very long time, for instance, those who knew me in Miss Garrison's class in 10th grade with the thumbtacks, they also knew that I was a graffiti artist. I've been a graffiti artist since I was 10 years old, and I still do paint. I'll be painting actually on Monday around town. But I ended up writing what I call a scripted novel because I took it from a script version and turned it into a book. It is called Venice High, and it's based on my life experience growing up as a graffiti artist in Los Angeles when I was a teenager. It's fictional, but it draws from my experience. It's called Venice High, and it's on Lulu.com. And the other thing that I'm really excited about is a movie that I did last year with a director named Brian Skiba, and it is based on a graphic novel called Rotten Tail that is produced by SourcePoint Press. I do believe that Gifts for the Geek have ordered some, and they're at their shop in Geelong.
Geelong.
Oh, is it Geelong?
Geelong.
Oops. Well, that just shows my Americanness.
You just upset the coffee machine.
Well, that's because you never pronounce Geelong wrong. It's funny because I pronounced it incorrectly on a radio show this morning, and nobody corrected me. So nobody's going to know where the comic book shop is to buy this thing. But that said,
Hang on. I know a friend who's got a comic book shop in Geelong.
is it Beaver and Jason? Gifts for the Geek?
No.
Does he ever wear shoes?
No.
Beaver never wears shoes.
Oh, okay. Well, no, he's the comic place, I think it's called. That's the plug for Jim Vinton. There you go. Jim, you owe me money.
We're going to have a boxing match between the two comic book shops in Geelong.
I'm pretty sure we could sort that out. You do it in cosplay.
Yes, I love that idea. And speaking of cosplay, I have a funny story about that later. But anyway, so it's called Rotten Tail, and it is a horror comedy, and it is about it's kind of like The Fly, except I play a scientist who is bitten in my government laboratory by a mutated rabbit, and I transform into a half man, half bunny. And then I go on a kind of a killing spree where I go and murder all of my bullies. Speaking of bullies, the bullies from my past. And it is set to hopefully be released next Easter is the plan. So Rotten Tail, next Easter, be there.
Okay, good timing.
We'll get tickets for the doctor that saved my life.
Okay, all right. See, all the reason to find the doctor.
By the way, we are at Oz Comic.
Yes, this is Oz Comic. That'll be in the title.
Perfect. This would actually make a really, if I could stick this to my forehead, this would be awesome. If I could just walk around with that stuck to my forehead.
I can come around on Sunday for the convention. I can make up a head thing. If you want to find me on Sunday, I can do that if you want.
Sure, why not?
I'm going to have to make a headband out of my Stargate. I will hold myself to that.
Oh, dear. And what have I gotten myself into? I'll wear it for a photo.
I have no money for a photo.
A selfie.
Okay. If they let me near your table, yeah, okay, done.
Done.
Okay. We'd better go visit other people. You're a busy man today.
Somewhat. A little. I mean, not really.
I don't want to be greedy. We got to let other people inside the camping.
Yes, of course.
But I'll come find you on Sunday. We'll do the selfie.
Please do.
We got a nod from over there that said it was, yeah? Excellent. And we got a thumbs up, too. All right. Thank you.
Yes, and also, I guess, I don't know when this is airing, but...
they've asked me if I can get home tonight, get it together upload it and put it out tomorrow morning, and that will come down to how well the NBN works.
Well, perfect. No matter where you're living in Australia, you're only a short flight away from Melbourne. So hop a plane, get down here, and we'll see you at Oz Comic Con.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.